Right. Once again, you are welcome to this edition of Governor Alex Otti Speaks to Abians, a monthly media interactive session that gives the governor the opportunity to speak to Abians, to interact with the media, to listen to your questions, to take feedbacks, to receive suggestions from Abians. As usual, the governor will have the floor for his opening remarks, after which I will hand over the microphone to the moderators, Joy of Rapid FM and TC Barra of Spain FM. Once again, you are welcome to this interactive session. Thank you. Your Excellency, the opening remarks, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen of the press, honorable commissioners that are here, the chief of staff, other government appointees, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, ndị Abia, ndewonu. It gives me great pleasure to be here this evening on our monthly media chat and engagement. It has been another month of activities and interesting times. So let me welcome you once again and thank you for all the engagement and all the support that you continue to give this administration. Of course, out of every 12, there must be a Judas. So, and we are not worried about the Judases because they are in the minority. Once we are doing things that impact a larger majority of the people, that's the essence of governance as defined by us. In the last 1 month, the government has been involved with a lot of activities ranging from infrastructure to health and education and other activities that impact Abia people. We have proctored, and it has already started, that our healthcare, I mean our education sector should be revamped. If you take to any public school in Abia, you will not like the state that you find most of them. We have therefore started the reconstruction and retrofit of 13 schools per local government, 10 primary schools, and 3 secondary schools. That has already started. We first of all sat back to agree on what a school should look like. What are the basic minimum standards that we expect to find in our schools? We designed them. got experts involved, and then went through the process of approval by ISCO and handed over to the commissioner and the special advisor in charge of education. So very soon, you will see massive work in schools around your locality. There must be, we believe that in the 21st century world, that there are some things you must find in a school: a library, a laboratory, teachers' quarters, principals or head masters' quarters, and those minimum standards. And we want our teachers to live with the students like it used to be in days past. By the time we are done with that, we're also looking very closely at the curricula. And we have brought in a consultant known as Erit that has quite some experience in education to support us. And they've already come into the state. And in a bid to ensure that the schools are properly staffed by qualified teachers, we started a policy to get teachers who we are hitherto running away from the classroom to go back to the classroom. If you knew what happened here in the last few years, because teachers were not paid promptly, some were not paid at all, so a lot of people abandoned, a lot of trained teachers abandoned the classroom and sought transfer elsewhere. So what we have done is to encourage them to go back to the classroom. We've done a few things to encourage them. Our policy is that we cannot force anyone, but we have a lot of sweeteners that will attract genuine teachers. One of those is that we have increased the retirement age for teachers from 60 to 65. We have also started to work out a discriminatory compensation package for teachers. So by the time we are done, teaching will become very attractive. So that's one of the things we are doing. On education, on healthcare, we have also taken the principal stand of ensuring that we have square pegs in square holes. All the agencies around healthcare, we have found well-qualified people to man them. Within this period, we had appointed a special advisor to the governor on health, a very well-qualified, trained, skilled Abian from Umunnochi. Her name is Dr. Ngozi Azodo, who retired not too long ago as a director in the Federal Ministry of Health. She has since resumed. And of course, we have Dr. Kwonu, who is the CMD, who we had just appointed the CMD of the Specialist Diagnostic Hospital in Umuahia. I've appointed Professor Ijoma Ndoka as the CMD of Abia State University Teaching Hospital in Aba. We appointed Dr. Udochi Azubike as the CEO of the Health Management Board. We also appointed the CEO for the State Health Insurance Scheme. So all the areas have been well populated, including Aba General Hospital. And we have also given them mandates to ensure that the places where the man work efficiently, because health is wealth. We've also started the process of setting up one of our campaign promises, the Abia State Medical Village. It will take us some time to complete it, but when completed, our vision is that medical tourism will be reversed from India tribal condition as we speak. We've commissioned 10 routes, and in the next few days or weeks, we should commission no less than 4 new roads. We continue to ensure that the state is secure. By Tuesday, we'll be inaugurating the Security Advisory Council. And we are so lucky and glad that one of the finest in the state, who was the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Azubike Onyabo Ihejirika, accepted to serve as the chairman of the council. And of course, another Amazon from the state, who was the second in command in the Nigerian police under the presidency of Goodluck Jonathan, DIG Ivy Uche Okoronkwo, accepted to serve as the vice chairman. And we have our brother, who was director of operations of the DSS in Abuja, Chief Ray Kenderem, accepting to also serve on that committee, together with 3 other senior security officers that are retired. So they will be inaugurated here on Tuesday next week. Also to be inaugurated is the State Security Trust Fund, the trustees or the board members. And our brother Stanley Obiamarije, also known as OBJ from Okwa East, an oil magnate and a great son of Abia State, is leading the Security Trust Fund as the chairman. That will also be inaugurated by Tuesday. And this is just to support a robust security architecture for our state. It is clear to us that if we don't pay attention to security, every other thing we are doing will not work. And that's why we are paying serious attention to it. While we are doing other important things that also guarantee security, one of them is the provision of employment for our people, and the other is the reduction of poverty. Talking about providing employment, just this afternoon, we brought together the beneficiaries of the Agricultural Empowerment Program, which is being facilitated by CSS Farms in Nasarawa State. The CEO of CSS Farms, Professor John Kennedy Opera, was in the state this morning and attended the ceremony where over 200 Abia young men and women who were selected for the first round of training and empowerment met with CSS Farms. I've been to CSS Farms myself, and I was amazed at what is happening there. From agriculture, farming, to animal husbandry, to processing, to packaging, to export, everything happens there. And the place is so large, I think it's about 1,750 hectares of land. So we are lucky that our people will go through that training. And the whole idea is that by the time they are back, with the support that we are giving in no distant time, instead of being idle, they will be millionaires. And it has happened elsewhere. So we are not talking of something we do not know how it happens. So after that, the next round of beneficiaries will also go for the training. The interesting part of the agreement that we are about to sign is that whatever is produced, CSS farms commits to buying it off. So you are not going to have problems looking for market. So that's one of the ways we are reducing poverty and creating jobs for our people. And it's clear to us, like we have always said, that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. And that once people have something to do, they become unavailable for crime and criminality. We also supporting women and the young people. The governor's wife is working with the Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation Commissioner. And at the moment, I think there are about 1,000 women that are benefiting from not just skills acquisition, but also financial support, just to pull people out of poverty. The cooperative societies have also taken off in full force, and close to 1 billion naira has been made available to support our people who have skills or who have things to do but require funding. Like I've always said, this government is a government of the people. So, and our target is to impact people. Generality of the people, not a few people. In the last month, we were able to keep our promise to pensioners, because by the 28th of April, all the pensioners received 100% of their pensions. It will happen again by the 28th of this month. So, and the idea is that they can now plan and lead a normal life, rather than the situation in the past where they were not sure of where the next meal was going to come from. And these are our senior citizens who have devoted so much years of their life, useful life, to the state. Not too long ago, we also signed the Dig Once policy. Dig Once policy is a policy that ensures that we are organized in the way we dig the streets. That's why it's called Dig Once. So as the roads are being done, we insist that provisions are made for immediate and future requirements in terms of internet connectivity, broadband technology, all sorts of wiring. Everything will go through the ducts that will be laid once and for all. So gone are the days when you come onto a street and you start digging and destroying infrastructure. They have been put for use by the government. So all the roads we are building now will provide ducts. So if you want to connect anything, you just connect without digging again. That's what that policy means. I think I may have to stop here now and give room for your questions. Mr. Barra and Joy, right? All right. So I believe that the floor should now be yielded to you to do your thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you for that intense opening remark. We appreciate that. You actually touched mostly all the aspects of infrastructure. Thank you. Thank you again. Good evening, Umahia.
Good evening, Abia.
Wherever you are listening from.
This, of course, is the monthly media engagement captured. Governor Alex Otti speaks to Abians. It's a monthly interface that highlights the major strides of this administration and provides clarity on programs of the government led by His Excellency, Dr. Alex Otti, OFR.
And evidences of his good work can be seen in infrastructure, education, health, agriculture, industrialization, job creation, security, and general economic development. No doubt the governor is poised and prepared to take questions and provide possible answers to your questions. And my name is Joy Notchery of Rapid 96.5 FM.
Well, I am Temple Chinalo Barra of Spin 95.3 FM. And of course, this engagement is on partner radio stations, BCA 88.1 FM.
Flow 94.9 FM, Eimba 94.3 FM, Magic 102.9 FM, Family Love FM 99.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Sun FM 91.3 Iberi, Sun FM 91.9 Abba, Zik 96.3 FM, Spin 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM, and Real 99.1 FM.
Well, it's also streaming on AFN News, ABN TV, Iberi TV, and other online platforms. Well, we do have various categories of pressmen here, and of course, falling into 4 broad categories of print, radio, television, and the online media practitioners. So,
before we start taking questions, the SMS line is 0906 510 8289. I'll take the number again, 0906 510 8289.
All right, so we'll start off from the print. 3 questions for persons of print, and each person will get to ask just 1 question. Please, it's the month of May, it's my birthday. I'd like us to actually stick to the rules. Thank you, sir. Belated happy birthday, sir. All right, print. Do the honors.
Okay. Oh, let me stand so I can see you well. Okay, I guess I saw your hand first, so we take your own question first. Yes, use our own glasses.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Ikpeazu Oji of the New Telegraph. My question is one with a conjunction. We need to know what the administration is doing in the area of agriculture, especially as it concerns these, what do you call them, rubber plantation, these palm plantation, and these estates that we inherited. And then this recent defection to politicians to APC. What is how does the administration see it, especially as the next election approaches? Are you comfortable that instead of coming to Labour, majority of them are going to APC? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ikpeazu Oji. You asked two questions. Ikpeazu, are you listening? You asked two questions. And I remember Mr. Barra says it is his birth month, so people should keep to the rules. So which of the questions do you want us to answer? The one on agriculture or the one on politicians? Which one is more important? All right. Okay, so we can take the two. But that is not to encourage others to ask two questions. On the plantations and the estates, why we're a bit slow is that we are trying to follow due process. What we found out is that most of those places were concessioned by previous governments to individuals and groups and companies. Some of them have really not done so much with the concessions. So we are in negotiations trying to untangle the concessions so that we can move forward. Reality is that we have a clear program and direction of how to go. But you don't, because it's a democracy, rule of law is paramount. Otherwise, if we could just move in and take over those plantations, we would have done them. But unfortunately, we have to go through due process. We are making progress. The rubber plantation, the concessionaire has agreed with us. In principle, we are just working out the compensation. It's agreed to return it to the state. In fact, he has returned it to the state. And we are now looking at how to ensure that we adequately compensate him. Now, on the question of defections, you know, political parties are like churches. And any church that you like to go, nobody will stop you. Am I worried? Definitely not. Because they were not in my party in the first place. And I would be worried if people in my party are defecting to other parties. But what is happening is that a lot of people are also joining my own party, and more are on the way. So, political parties and politics is about free entry and free exit. So it's nothing to worry about. I think if anybody has to be worried, the party from where they are living, because they are living in droves and depleting the numbers. So that means that they have sufficiently gotten weakened, maybe for the next election that you are talking about. But the truth is that we are not thinking the next election yet. It's still early. We have done 11 months and a few days. So it's too early to start thinking the next election. And in any case, what is important for us is to give good governance to our people. At the end of the day, it's the people that will decide who they want to support. I don't know if I answered your question, but thank you.
The next person. So we're going to do it this way. If we go to a particular group and ask, yeah, you do have a question, really. It's the first set of persons that raise their hands will consider first. Please bear with me. So I'd rather you don't do the usual introduction. Straight to the question. One question, please.
Thank you very much, TC Banam from my junior colleague. Please, let's let me that Chief Journalist Sabo Naide is the chairman of correspondent chapel for NDDC, and the most senior journalist here. So if you may now make a say you are not interested to me, let me make a brief remark. Then I go ahead and ask my question. I will say that the SNC, the performing and talk and do government of Abia State. In the last page, you graciously added a document, and I claim you added it. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, sir. Your Excellency, let me thank you for remembering this civil servant in Abia State. The last time Commissioner for Information brief was, we are told the palliative given to levels 1 to 7, while that of 8 to 10 come up. And there was a peculiar way those that are started without responsibility handled it. Not just every civil servant, but the civil servant is known. So it gives room for people saying that maybe the thing was not handled very well. I want my Excellency for that and say that at the local government at one level, there when you give those in the state to distribute at the local government or ward level, they would rather give to their party man. It may cost the government money, but if they discover the vulnerable within the community with their lens, so that when such facilities are given, it will get to the people that are required. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, my question is on disability law. Your Excellency, as far as 2018, Disability Act was passed into law by the past administration of President Buhari, and it was also passed into law at the state level, the previous state government. Your Excellency, now you are decided we want to find out what your government is doing to ensure that Abia State disability
right, thank you very much, the very senior journalist. I want to thank you for your generous comments about the way the palliatives were handled. These things should not be difficult, but they turn out to be difficult because people don't do the right thing. And we insist that the right thing must be done all the time and every time in Abia. So we are getting, we also don't take our eyes off the ball. So when there's a saying that whatever doesn't get monitored doesn't get done. So we ask for reports, ask for feedback, and we will continue to run our government that way. On the disability law, I started by appointing an essay on disability, who, by the way, is here. And we are gradually setting up the different commissions, starting with the Civil Service Commission, the ASUBEB, the Judicial Service Commission that we just set up. So we are coming to the Disability Commission. We are going to set it up. And it wouldn't end with setting up a commission. We also want to do things that would support people living with disabilities. Some of the palliatives and support we had given in the past were for vulnerable groups. And vulnerable groups include people living with disabilities. So I would want to reassure you that this government is sensitive to its responsibilities, and people living with disabilities will not be left behind by the government. Thank you very much.
We'll take one more question from the print. Thereafter, we'll move over to radio. One more question. Yes, you please, sir. Yes, don't look back. Thank you.
Your Excellency, good evening, sir. My name is Emeka Okafor. I write for Daily Times. And the question is, we're just about 2 or 3 weeks ahead. We'll be celebrating 1 year in office. And when you assume duties, responsibilities, taking shadows of the government of Abia State, assumably you met a lot of hot potatoes, on the way. And this is just about 11 months now, going to a year. You assumed the office. Despite distractions from the opposition, the revenue has improved. So, sir, what do you think and consider to be, you made campaign promises. Do you think these distractions from the opposition, and things will become, because you have a lot of issues, pensioners are there and you have settled them. Do you think that these distractions coming will not distract? Already people are commending you, and we hope that such commendations will not be under distractions in achieving your mandate for the people, sir.
Thank you very much, Emeka, for your very interesting question. Your question, you are worried if the distractions from opposition would constitute enough headwind to move the government away from what it's supposed to be doing, if I got your question correctly. The there's no, if you came into government and you don't expect opposition, then you'll be deceiving yourself. The opposition is a major part of democracy. And when opposition and criticisms are constructive, they are welcome. But then, when they are not, you also have a choice to make. And the choice to make will be to listen or ignore. For instance, somebody who doesn't even live in Abia State, doesn't live in Nigeria, doesn't live in Africa, wakes up from time to time and begins to churn out false numbers. Government has spent 10 billion in government house, which is in somebody's house. Government has spent this in welfare and entertainment and all that. So initially, when you see it, you may be worried. But when you go back to the actual numbers, you will find that his own numbers are manufactured to suit a particular argument or a particular tale he wants to tell. So what you do is to ignore him. So I don't think opposition to this government has enough weight to derail the administration. Interestingly, the opposition is minuscule, it's very small. So, and government is government of the majority. So the important thing is not what the opposition is saying. The important thing is what the majority of the people are saying. And if you are honest and you live in this state, you will see, you will agree that there's a difference between daylight and darkness. You agree between Egbe and Egbe. So we are not disturbed. We only encourage people who want to criticize with facts and to be honest. When you start lying, of course, somebody who has admitted to stealing before naturally must also admit to lying, because stealing and lying go together. So we don't pay attention to all those. That would be my answer to your question, Emeka. Thank you.
All right, we'll move to television now. Television. Chinwe Ugele.
Good evening, Your Excellency. You talked about making the schools active for people to go back to classrooms and begin to work there. But I think, Your Excellency, what will make the schools more attractive, especially to the young ones, to go back to school and begin to teach there, is when you correct the anomalies in the payments of the teachers by correcting the kind of salaries some of them receive, those that are in level 14, claiming to receive level 10 payments, Your Excellency. Then to my question, at the onset of this administration, President Tinubu did make available some stimulus packages to states across the country. Abia State did get some, wherein he claimed he received the sum of 2 billion naira and some bags of cereals. Your Excellency, I'd like to know, what has happened to the balance? Has the federal government completed what was due to Abia State in terms of cash and cereals? Thank you, Your Excellency.
All right, Shiwe, thank you. When talk about anomalies, by the way, you asked 2 questions. I'm reminding you. So when you talk about anomalies in payment, I'm a bit surprised because I'm hearing it for the first time. And so I believe you know what you are saying. I'll take it up with the Accountant General's office and the Commissioner for Finance. It will be very strange that those kind of things are happening. But I will not dispute it, since you must have done your investigation before coming up with it. But while not dealing with that at this time, I had also said that in addition, that we are going to pay some allowances that will encourage trained teachers to take up the teaching profession once again. And then for those who will elect to go to the rural areas, the allowances will even be larger. And I believe that those will be good incentives, plus the increase in the retirement age. Now, talking about the palliatives from the federal government, we've been receiving cereals, including the one that the Chief Obina spoke about. So the first set of palliatives we received them at the ward level, and we ensured it was shared to vulnerable men and women. And then the last set we shared to civil servants from grade level 1 to 7. But when we receive another set, we also know how to share it. On the cash, I had reported here that we received 2 billion naira, which is still sitting in our account. We are expecting the balance of the money, which hasn't come yet. By the time it comes, we have already, after engagement with civil society groups and others concerned, we had decided that we are going to use them to procure, we're going to use the money to procure CNG, that's compressed natural gas fired buses for mass transit. And we have started discussing it while we're expecting the balance of the money. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 2 more persons. Okay, the lady in green. Please introduce yourself.
Okay.
And please make sure you stick to 1 question as agreed. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Grace Onyekachi, reporting for Rapid TV. Your Excellency, sir, I want to ask my question based on the level of unemployment, not just in Abia, but in Nigeria. I want to know your plans concerning the educational sector of Abia State in the area of instilling skill acquisitions in our secondary school level to help discover and harness young minds and creative minds in Abia State, sir.
All right, Grace, thank you very much. Your question is about skill acquisition. Luckily, we had, and I believe we reported it, we had approved that 3 skill acquisition centers in the different senatorial zones be set up to support our young men and women who, by the way, are very talented and very, very aggressive in terms of acquiring knowledge and doing things with their hands. So they just will need a little support. So that is already in place. I believe at this time, all the preparations are being made for takeoff as soon as possible. And the skills that we identified would include plumbing, some technical skills in building electricity or electricians, as the case may be, electronics, and most importantly, digital technology, which is the rave of the moment. And we believe and we know that a lot of people can sit in the comfort of their home and be working for world technology giants like Microsoft and Google. It's happening elsewhere. A lot of them in China, in India, are working virtually. Why not our people? But they need to be trained. So those are the areas we are targeting to ensure that we massively reduce the level of unemployment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. We're still taking questions from television. AIT State Correspondent, Kirstito. A proper introduction and 1 question, please.
Okay. Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Chukwemeka Agwawike. I report for AIT. My question is, okay, the immediate past government led by Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu has come out to deny any wrongdoing in the handling of the fund related to the Abia airport. Your Excellency, when will your government publish the findings of the forensic audit report? And what will be your next line of action when that report comes out? Thank you very much.
Thank you. The government, the immediate past governor of the denial is not unexpected. First of all, when it was announced, they went to the media abusing the government and saying the government lied. There's nothing like that. And then when a media house that got hold of the report published it, of course, the next thing is to, by the way, they didn't deny. What they said is that because it's published, it's a report by KPMG. So what they said is that they diverted the money into routes. It's for them to come and show us the routes. But what is true is that in the bank statement on the 25th of September 2020, when people were dealing with COVID, that a debit went into the state account for 10 billion naira. And the description was payment for 80% contract of the Abia airport. That is true, and it's incontrovertible. The statement is there, the report is there. By the way, the report will be published very soon. But I can assure you that, as reported by the media, it's KPMG that did the forensic audit. On the 13th of October, that's almost 3 weeks after, a letter was written by the then governor to the House of Assembly requesting for appropriation or approval of 10 billion naira for the construction of Abia Airport. On the 14th of October, 1 day after, a letter was written to the governor, then governor, giving him approval for the 10 billion that he required for the airport. So clearly something went wrong. An ISPO was raised in between these dates. So our engagement with the company that received the money gave an impression that the company was deceived. The managing director of the company said that he told them that he had never built an airport before, and it's not his area of competence. Neither did he apply to them to construct an airport. So the people denying, the question for them is, how come when he moved into an account of somebody who has said he neither sent in a bid for an airport, nor has he the competence to construct an airport? And according to him, of course, he will respond to the security agencies. According to him, the then government asked him to move the monies elsewhere. He showed us letters from the then government to move the money in different tranches to 32 companies. And that he did on the instruction of the former government. So, like I had said, the rest of the work will be done by security agencies. But what is important for our government is either that somebody is showing us at the airport or somebody is returning our money. That is what is important to us. We are not interested in all the fireworks and all the abuse. We are not even interested in anybody going to jail, except if they are telling us that somebody whose money is missing should not look for the money. Where I come from, if your property is missing, you have to look for it. I don't know about you. So we are looking for our money, or in the alternative, our airports. Chukwemeka, I don't know if I've answered your question. Thank you.
Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, listeners and viewers at home, of course, this is the monthly media engagement captioned Governor Alex Otti Speaks to Abians. It's a monthly interface that highlights the major strides of this administration and tends to provide clarity on programs of the government led by His Excellency, Dr. Chioma Alex Otti, OFR. This engagement is live on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Aimba 94.3 FM Aba, Magic 102.9 FM Aba, Family Love 99.9 FM, Umwahia, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Sun FM 91.3 Berry, Sun FM 91.9 Aba, Zik 96.3 FM, Spin 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM, Real 99.1 FM. It's also streaming on AFN News, ABN TV, Ibere TV, Alpha Spin TV, and other online platforms. We'll be moving on to radio now. Joy, do the honors.
Right. Thank you very much, TC Barra. We move over to radio. Okay. Mr. Stan Limba of Sun FM, you first.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Your Excellency, please. Permit me, one will be an information, the second one will be a question. The first one is NDDC projects in the state. Most of them are abandoned. You go to Fedeco Bridge between Asaga and Amuka or Hafia. They left it that way for many years now, they abandoned it. Between Eziafo and Asaga as well, there's also another NDDC project there. It was also abandoned. Presently, the Mori Bridge, which connects Ebibon Hafia and Abam, they've also abandoned that one. It's becoming a death trap. The information here is to let you know this, so please, you look into it. My question is this. Not too long ago, a student of Abia State Polytechnic died in front of their gate while trying to cross the road. There's a pedestrian bridge there, but they don't use it because they said it's not strong enough because it was built with metal. What will you do to end this? Either you retrofit, borrowing your word, retrofitting, because I love that word each time you use the word retrofit. Borrowing your word, are you going to retrofit that pedestrian crossing or pedestrian bridge, or build another one, a better one, maybe use a better company to construct one there? Not just about Abia State Polytechnic, most parts of Abawere Road needs it. You see mothers, aged mothers crossing the road. That road is becoming more busy because it is good now, people can fly through that route. What are you going to do to build more of that, to enable Abians cross with ease, even in Omar here? Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. I'm not sure I got your name, Sandy, right?
Stan Limba.
Stan Limba.
Limba.
Okay, Stan Limba. Thank you very much. Interestingly, I've been engaging with the new managing director of NDDC on abandoned NDDC projects, including projects around my village too. Good news is that he's in Abia on Saturday, and as we expect him, we will hold his feet to fire to ensure that the abandoned projects are given priority attention. So thank you. It is already on the front burner for us. On your question, it's very unfortunate that we lost one of our young ladies who, in an accident while trying to cross the road. I've also, in fact, as soon as it happened, I ordered an integrity test to be done on the bridge, on the overhead bridge. Because I heard that it was not well constructed. Maybe it was not. But the result of the test shows that the overhead bridge is actually strong and just needs some little palliative, which I have authorized that it be done. I've also taken note of your other comment, which is very true, that we probably need more of such bridges on the route, on that Abowere route. And we will look at it and ensure that it's done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're still taking questions from the radio. Imerimba of Real FM.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Imeremba. I report for Real FM Aba. In your inaugural speech, Your Excellency, you mentioned something that has to do with 10 billion Naira MSME fund. Then you reiterated that during the 63rd Founders lecture at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, when you were, where you were the guest lecturer, that was October last year. And at that event, you said the modalities of accessing that fund will soon be unfolded. My question is just simple. When are we expecting the unfolding of that fund? Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Imeremba. It is still work in progress. We actually did secure a loan for that. But on reflection, we thought we could fund it by other means and not necessarily a loan. But what we have done, including the cooperative societies, also come under the MSME, the micro, small, and medium scale enterprises. So if we have disbursed 1 billion, like I said, that would be subsumed under the MSME facility. So it's still very much in progress. Don't also forget that we are just 11 months. So a lot of things competing for attention, but we are taking them one step at a time, starting with the ones that are of utmost priority and urgency. So we've not forgotten this, and we will handle as promised. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Mr. Samson Eze of Flow FM.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Permit me to take you back to the issue of pension and the arrears. When last month, the government paid according to the agreement reached with the leadership of Nigeria Union of Pensioners. Your Excellency, that association met in Umuahia a few days ago, and they said they never agreed to waive their gratuities and other entitlements as contained in the paragraph 6 of the Memorandum of Understanding or agreement reached with the government delegation in January. So, Your Excellency, with your assistance, to probably put a closure to this matter, what did the government really agree with the pensioners? Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Samson. I would like to take you back a little bit. When we came into office, we looked at the pension arrears, and that time we were thinking, based on the information that was available to us, that the arrears dated back to 2017 or 2018. But by the time we started engaging, we found that we had 5 months pension arrears for 2014. Some months, I think about 7 or 8 or 9 months for 2015. And it graduated all the way to 2023. So we started engaging with the pensioners. So we got to a point where the NUP in the state told us that what they were interested in was the payment of their full pension from January 2024. And they also said they were ready to waive all the arrears once there was a commitment to paying them promptly and paying 100% of the pension. So when we went back, we thought it was not a fair deal. We thought that the pensioners, in spite of the difficulties that they were under, that we were not going to have them write off all their pension arrears. So we looked at our books and we put down 10 billion naira to defray the total arrears. We sat down, walked back, and had an agreement which every party signed. So I'm not aware of this meeting that you are talking about, but I'm aware that after we paid out that money, that the leadership of the Nigerian Union of Pension had come to say, oh, that they made a mistake. They didn't think that gratuity should be waived. But of course, you had signed a document, and on the basis of that document, action had been taken, and full pension payment has resumed. So that is my story. As far as I'm concerned, I have a document they have signed, and if you want to have a look at the document, you can approach the government house and you'll see the document. I'm not too sure that it does not amount to bad faith after signing a document and receiving your money, and you want to walk back on agreement that had been signed. So that would be my response to your question. But we, as government, will live by everything that we agree and sign. So some people can go back and And I believe that somebody must be fueling that. You know, if you've been following all the reports from the so-called opposition who couldn't pay these pension arrears when they were in government, the pensioners themselves are happy. Some of them have gone to church and for Thanksgiving. So if the leadership who signed the document comes to say they didn't sign, or you said, did they say they didn't sign, or that they are changing their mind? Samson, you are aware of the meeting. I'm not aware. What did they say? Well, let's get the facts.
Okay, Your Excellency, they said they want a particular section of that memorandum of agreement expunged, paragraph 6 in particular.
Okay, so Samson, what do you think?
I think the government can revisit the agreement, probably have another round of discussion with them.
So is that how you run your business if you were? All right, I think it's a huge joke, because you can't sign a document and say you didn't sign, or that a portion of the document should be expunged after you signed, and the other party has changed position. Yeah. All right, thank you. But gratuity is a one-time thing, and you weren't getting anything before. So I'm sure if they engage their members on the basis of this, they wouldn't like it. We have shown good faith. We are not the ones that incurred the debt. We could have done like others, ignored them and continued. But they are our people. And we believe that we should at least make life easier for them. So, well, Samson, I can give you the contract to go and engage with them and then come back. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We move over to online media practitioners. But before then, let me remind you that you can send in your SMS to this number, 0906 510 8289. 0906 510 8289. We'll now take questions from online media practitioners. Mr. Chika Mwabweze.
Good evening, His Excellency. My name is Chika Mwabweze. Chika Mwabweze is the former political editor of National Mirror newspaper and also former political editor of Hallmark newspaper. I'm currently the editor of News Critic Online. His Excellency, we are happy that today Abia is ranked as being among the best governed states in Nigeria, courtesy of your leadership. His Excellency, I'm saying that you were at Johns Hopkins University School of Advanced International Studies, USA, recently. Yes, Excellency, you spoke on state governance, good governance. You said that the problem we are having today is that most of the leaders that occupy positions, political offices, are not there for service, but for selfish reasons. His Excellency, you also said that lack of accountability, as we know today, enables mindless stealing of state resources. His Excellency, my question to you is this. How? I will try to make it one compound question. Sir, please permit me. My question is, how can we ensure that only patriotic leaders are given political positions? How can we achieve that? And then you talked about lack of accountability and stealing. What do you have to say in view of the opposition accusations against you that most of the contract jobs are not being awarded according to the guidelines, and that some of them, the contract sums are not made public, and that this is, it also shows, speaks to lack of transparency and accountability in governance. His Excellency, how do you reconcile all these, things in relation to the lecture you delivered at John Hopkins, sir? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chika Nwabweze. Thank you for the generous comment about Abia being one of the best governed states. So if you believe that, then your compound question would not have a reason. But maybe it's an academic question. How do you ensure that people who come into leadership are people who have come to serve the people? Of course, there is a saying that every society gets the kind of leadership it deserves. What that saying is pointing to is that leadership is followership. So if you are quiet as a follower, if you collect money to sell your vote at the polling unit, if you sit back and feel unconcerned about how the leadership selection process happens in your place, then you have supported bad leadership. If you do not vote, you have voted for the wrong leader. So citizen, if you listen to me all the way to the end, citizen activity, citizen participation, citizen activism is very important. And it starts with your vote. It starts with showing interest in what happens in your locality, be it ward, local government, or state. So that is how to ensure. And sometimes we know the truth, but we choose to stand it on his head. You know the person that is presenting himself. You know that from the word go, or from the get-go, he's a thief. But you choose to protect him because he's a thief from your village. So this is our own thief. At least our own thief has to be protected. So by the time you start doing all those, you're also encouraging the wrong leadership. And when the consequences come, you'll be dealing with it. Okay. Is the second part of your question, or the second question you asked, is actually a second question. It's about opposition. I thought I had answered that question to say my attention is not on opposition. My attention is on you, the people. So the so-called opposition, which road did they do when they were in power? And where are those roads? So that we are even awarding roads and having the contractors come to site, and they are working. At least you can see them. Roads have been completed. The contractors we are giving the roads are also competent. Okay, so we know that in the past, people used to do audio roads. Roads you will not see. Okay, so the opposition must find something to say. If the due process, we follow due process. And if they need to know the numbers, they can inquire and they will get the number. How did they know the ones that they are parading if they are not disclosed? Somebody said that we awarded Port Harcourt Road for 30 billion, that it was so much. But I went into the records and I found that this same road that they awarded it for 9.8 billion in 2017, and it was not done. So just taking exchange rate differential in 2017, exchange rate was about 300 naira. Today, where is it? And we are saying we are awarding to somebody, Julius Beja, that will do the road, and you've seen them working. So there's no basis for comparison. Yeah, so I don't want you to be distracted because you sound very intelligent. So don't get distracted by opposition, because if we follow them, then we won't be doing anything. We'll be responding to them. And by then, you wouldn't award us one of the states that are best governed. Right? Okay. So I hope I've answered you. Thank you.
So we'll take two more questions from online. You have to decide among yourselves, or I choose for you. Emenike.
Your Excellency, good evening. I want to start by appreciating you for this audience and this interaction that has been constant, and Abians are extremely appreciative of this interaction. If you look at our social media handles, platforms, you will see communications, people appreciating you. Your Excellency, while we as journalists deeply appreciate this conversation, we also think that these conversations should be extended more. Most of us are difficult to interact with some of your commissioners. You don't talk. People are aware. If you write them, accept interviews, they don't accept comments on issues. If you call them on phone, they speak. So my question is, Your Excellency, is there an executive mandate saying that commissioners should not speak to journalists? Thank you very much, sir.
Emenike. Emenike, you are asking me a difficult question. And for this purpose, I'm a public servant. I don't speak to the press. All right. Let me thank you for the very positive comment about interaction that we hold on a monthly basis with our media, the media team in Abia State and elsewhere, and then our people. In fact, it's one of the ways to hold government accountable. Because if you do not make yourself available, then you wouldn't know what the government is doing. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We take one more question and
Joy is in a hurry because she knows we have overshot. It's now to 9. But we can drag it for a little while. So, MNK, there is no executive order to anybody not to speak to the press. But you see, the issue of speaking to the press also requires tact. Not everybody that can face the press. You must take it that is the truth. There are some people that are very shy, but they know their job. So, but luckily, we have a commissioner in charge of information. We have a chief press secretary. What's the noise about? You don't know the chief press secretary? You people are doing an appraisal now. Okay, but at least we have a special advisor, media and publicity. All right, I've taken the hint. And then so these are people whose responsibility is to speak to the press. So somebody that is a medical doctor may just be busy in the hospital. So when you call him, he may not be able to pick up his call, in all fairness. Somebody that is in charge of lands and housing may just be dealing with issues relating to land, and you know how land matters are. So, and when you call him, he may not even know what to say. He may not know what to say. You call him now and ask him a question on education. So we have a focused set of people who you can always relate to when you need information about the government. So please, I can assure you that nobody is bad from speaking to the press, but I also do know that it's not everybody that has the skills to speak to the press. And you know, you people sometimes, you people are very dangerous. You corner somebody somewhere, and the man will now start saying what he shouldn't say. And then the worst part of it is that you may have it on record. So by the time you publish it, the person wants to deny, you publish the video. So the person will now plead alcohol or something. So don't take it so hard if people, appointees are unable to speak to the press. Maybe they don't have the skill. But any information that you require, direct to the commissioner or the other members of the media team. And if you don't get a response, you can call me. Why are you laughing? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We take the last question from online media practitioners. Thereafter, we take questions from the phone lines, and we move over to you now. Promise Uzomokoro.
Your Excellency, sir, my name is Promise Uzoma Okoro. I am the publisher of PUO Report and the chairman of Online Media Practitioners Association, Abia State Chapter. I want to begin my comment by first of all appreciating you, because what I saw is what I'm judging you from. and it is on the area of road. Moving from Umuahia to my village, I drove through a smooth road. There was no pothole. So I commend you for that, sir. Then my question is a bit away from politics. This is about a year you assumed office as executive governor of Abia State. Barely few days after your assumption of office, you suspended some permanent secretaries, and thereafter by memo they were asked to retire from service, maybe because they have overstayed. And even some directors that have stayed as directors in the Abia State Civil Service for more than 8 years. I want to ask, 1 year after, is there any plan to bring fresh ideas and blood by way of employment into the Abia State Civil Service? Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Promise, Uzoma Okoro. And congratulations on your assumption of office as the chairman. Or is it president? Okay. So thank you. On the state of the road from Umuahia to your village. Even though you didn't say the name of your village, but I imagine it must be on the axis to Zuakole, right? Alai? Okay, thank you. The issue of employment will arise when we finish dealing with what we met in the civil service. The numbers are still very high, even after verification. And our wage bill is about 4 billion for both local government and state on a monthly basis. We are also working on improving and enhancing the pay for the civil servants. So it may not be a priority at this time to open up the doors to bring in new people, except if we have a way of exiting a few people. But then, you know, civil service and the rules and all the things that go with it is not going to be very easy. So what we are trying to do with the establishment of the Civil Service Commission and the resumption of the new head of service and new permanent secretary is to ensure that our people are adequately trained so that they can upgrade their skills and perform better. But there's no gainsaying that there are quite a lot of people in the service who may not be contributing at optimal levels. So we need to do something about it. So direct answer to you is that it is not on the front burner, employing new people into the civil service. In fact, as a matter of fact, there's an embargo that I met, and that embargo is still in place. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be going to the SMS portal. Your Excellency, sir, with your kind permission, we can move to the SMS portal. This is from Chijoke. He says it's Chijoke from Ehimiri Housing Estate. Good evening, Your Excellency. Thank you so much for what you did for us at Ehimiri. Please, Aheke Okota to Isheke Road is in very bad shape. We need your kind intervention. I think that's just a comment there.
All right, thank you, okay, yes, we are looking at those roads. There are so many of them that are in bad shape, but I think part of it is also on the Omuaiha Bende Hafia Arochukwu Road, which is a federal road, and I'm engaging with the federal government to, at the minimum, bring back the contractor to site. A meeting will be holding very shortly with the contractor. Between the contractor, the Minister of Works, and myself, to ensure that that road is paid attention. Thank you.
Right, and this is coming from Felix Obani. He said, "Good evening, Your Excellency. Sir, before the retirement of the 31 permanent secretaries on October 31, 2023, you promised to pay all their entitlements. 6 months after, nothing seems to have happened in that direction. When will they get their entitlements as you promised?"
I'm not aware that they've not got their entitlements, so we are going to look at it. It's strange. Does anybody know anything about it? So if they have not, we'll look at it and ensure that they get their entitlements. Thank you.
This is from Kelechi Onyemechi. The NYC orientation camp at Umuna has not been renovated since it was built by former Governor Okezie Okalo. Erosion is dealing heavily with the well-drafted roads inside the camp, and some buildings there are dilapidated. Any plans to renovate the structures and fix the roads inside the camp?
They do have a permanent site that we are looking at to construct so that we can move them to the permanent site. Thank you.
Sir, it does appear that those of us who retired from BCA are not hopeful of pensions. Twice we have been asked to come for verification, but to no avail. Sir, what is our fate? Because we are part of pensioners who retired from Abia State. We are dying, sir. Come to our aid. Ngozika Okorafo.
Ngozika is very unfortunate. I think there's a problem with verification in that BCA. I keep the money is ready, waiting for the verification to be completed so that it can be paid. So I would engage with the Commissioner for Finance once again, because we spoke about it last week. The verification is taking a lot of time. The first one, I think there was a problem, a glitch somewhere, and it had to be redone. So once that is completed, payment will be made. Thank you.
This one says the Abia State Judiciary was owed 4 months conjus arrears since 2015, but was cleared from October 2023 to January 2024 in installments to the tune of about 300 million. But the payment was made without the inclusion of the State Judicial Service Commission, who are part of conjus. Efforts have been made by JUSUN, Judiciary Staff Union, to know why the arrears of about 11 million have not been paid or have not been provided for the payment of the staff of the commission, while their counterparts in the High Court and customary courts have been paid their arrears. The union executives have made efforts to reach out to the Attorney General of the state on the matter without success. But let it be known that the executives, staff, and judiciary will want to know what our amiable governor will want to know from our amiable governor why conjus arrears of Abia State Judicial Service Commission has not been paid till date.
That is getting granular. I don't know which one is conjus arrears, but the information available to me is that we have paid all the arrears, but then we'll take note of this and I'll engage with the Honorable Attorney General and the Accountant General so that I understand what exactly he's talking about. But what you can do, help us do, Mr. Barra, is to send that message to Ferdinand so that we can have the details, because I'm just hearing it for the first time. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Joy, let me do one last honor.
Okay, let's take this very last one. And it's coming from Madumere Francis Chukwemeka. He says, good evening, His Excellency. We love what you're doing in Abia in bringing back the new Abia. Sir, your appointment has not been favorable to the grassroots that works tirelessly to make sure you emerge victorious during the last general election. Please, sir, you need to carry them along. Secondly, the Ohoho Ring Road is not in good condition. God bless you as you continue to serve Abia to the greater height.
All right, Madumere. I don't know what you mean by grassroots. Am I not one of you? Yeah. Grassroots. Quite frankly, there are areas where you need profit. Because what's important, what the grassroots want is good governance. They want good roads. They want schools that are functioning. They want a healthcare delivery system that works. Those are what is important to the grassroots. And the people that will make it happen may not necessarily be at the lower rungs. So if you, and I'm using grassroots advisedly. If you get, if you go to the grassroots to bring the commissioner for health, very soon you'll be carrying dead bodies. If you go and bring the commissioner for works from the grassroots, your roots will start collapsing more and more. So the areas where you need professionals. So I'm sure if he's advocating for us, the grassroots, then he should be talking of what we need. The issue of Ohoho Ring Road, the Ohoho or here? Ohoho Ring Road. Okay, yeah, I had that. Somebody mentioned it yesterday. I don't even know where it is. So, but I would inform the commissioner for work. This is the second time it's been mentioned in 2 days, so that he will go and have a look and we'll see what maintenance we can, or facelift we can give to the road. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency would want to crave your indulgence. Radio, television, media practitioners in general have a presentation to make. I'd like to ask the cameraman to go off camera. And of course, if you're streaming online, we'll plead that you momentarily not stream. Yes, sir. To make that presentation is the general manager of Real FM, Sir Obinna Odowike. Please kindly turn off your camera momentarily. Please, he needs a microphone. So Odowike. They understand, don't worry, sir. They understand. It's for our own good, don't worry.
FM, Aimba 94.3 FM, Magic 102.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Sun FM 91.3 Biri, Sun FM 91.9 Aba, Zik 96.3 FM, Spin 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM, Real 99.1 FM.
It's also streamed on AF News, ABN TV, Iwere TV, and Alpha Spin TV, among other online platforms. At this point in time, we'll rise for the national anthem. And of course, afterwards, there will be a light refreshment. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Joy Nochiri of Rapid, my name